Hello everyone. So welcome back, and this is part two. So I assume you started debugging the application, and you also ended up doing something similar to what I have here. Let's restart the application again. Okay, and this time let's just go through it a little bit quickly, just to make sure, and we look at the values on the stack and all of this kind of stuff. Just let's do something very quick. Okay, so let's start. We got to this location, EBP. I'm gonna do stuff a little bit quicker. Okay, so I'm gonna jump that. I'm gonna also jump this one. And now you can see that on the stack, we have our A's got written on the stack. Let's continue. And then it's gonna print that I entered this value over here. And then if we continue over here, nope, leave, and then return, and you can see the application actually just continued and it worked successfully with no problems in there. Okay, and it terminated successfully. So, and you can see the exit code is 0, means application here, return code, which was 0 also, means it was successful. Let's see what's going to happen now if we load the application, but instead of passing only 16 bytes, let's pass this time, let's say 20 maybe. So let's do 20. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen this time and look at everything again. So let's start. Stop at the breakpoint. Next, next, next. I'm gonna jump over this. I don't want that. Next, next, next. And we can also debug this, by the way. Let's do it, because I think this is for the str copy. Let's do that so we can see everything is got created here. And now let's look at this one. So we can see that this is our destination. Okay, this is our destination. We can follow and dump. So this is probably where we will be writing the A's. Okay, I'm going to do F8 because I don't want to jump into str copy. So we can see the A's got written. Okay, these are the A's, but this time we have 4 more because we sent 20 instead of 16. And let's look, continue, see what we have over here. Over here, I'm going to jump over this one because it's only going to print, so I don't want that. So I'm going to jump over it. We got back to our main, and if we continue, here is, oh, this is actually, oh, okay. So this is actually where, yeah, I didn't jump over it then. I missed that. So call printf, I'm going to jump over the call and then just continue, return. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my main function. So this, and then return. And then we have jump short. We are going to do that because we finished over there. Move, ex, leave, and return. And as you can see, nothing happened. Everything was fine. And if I do F9, you'll see that same thing happened. So it seems 20 is still fine. We didn't manage to corrupt the stack and of the application. Now this is trial and error, by the way, especially if you don't know have the code. Here we have the code, so we know how much we need to write to corrupt the stack, but in general it's trial and error. So this time, let's what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add 4 more. So this time we're going to send actually 24. Okay, so this time we're going to send 24. Let's start. So we have started the application. So here, this one, I want to jump over it, preparing the, so this one, okay. Compare is going to happen, the jump, I mean. jump less equals, not going to happen, sorry, because we have two values. And then move, then this one is to do the function 1. So let's go to function 1. We want to do that. And let's copy all of these, get ready for str copy, so we can see this is where our destination. As you can see, it's not changing, but this time we have a bigger value. So let's see what's going to happen now. So if I do F8 to jump over it, we can see that this time we overwrote. This is 16 and these are the 8 values again, so we wrote 24 bytes. Okay, let's continue and see what's going to happen. So F7, and then I'm gonna jump over it. I don't want to go to the print, which is, this is function 2. I'm just gonna jump over it. Okay, so we are now back into main. Let's continue here. Why did I press F7 by mistake? Maybe. Okay, so you entered. Gonna print this. I'm gonna jump over the printf. Let's do that. And nope. Leave return. I did by the way, by mistake poured water on my keyboard, so I hope it's functioning correctly, by the way. I don't know. So jump, we're gonna do the jump. This is fine. This is fine. And look at what's gonna happen now. Look at this one. So what does the return do? The return will take the top value on the stack, will put it in EIP, and then it will go to execute that. So what do we have on top of the stack? We have some of our bytes. So when we do here, what happened? The application paused, and if I say F9, it says I can't continue. Why? Because the system does not know where this address is, 41, 41, 41, 41, which is the A's that we sent. It doesn't know where this is. Okay, so this is either some location that this application does not have access to, or it doesn't exist even. So the application crashed. So what we managed to do is, if we go back here, by the way, to our explanation, what we managed to do is we managed to write the buffer 4 bytes, 4 bytes, 4 bytes, 4 bytes. Okay, right? Those were 16 bytes. And then we overwrote EBP. So that's why EBP also got corrupted, by the way. But we also, and that means 20 bytes, but we also overwrote on EIP. And that's when we did the return, it took those 4 bytes. Okay, so that's when it did the return, it took those 4 bytes. This time, let's see. We'll add, so we did 24 and it worked. Let's do 28. Let's just do 28 and see, will we have on the stack 2 sets of 4s, just to double check. Okay, again, yep. Start, and we are gonna say start, and again this. I'm gonna jump over the preparation. This, we're gonna continue. Let's do the copy, because this is my function 1. Let's go to my function 1. Okay, let's do the str copy. I wanted to go out of this by mistake. Okay, so return. I didn't want to do the str copy, I mean. So we can see that this address is, if we follow in dump, so this time we overwrote all of these. Okay, so we overwrote more, and let's continue. And let's continue. This is this should be for, I want to jump over it, but it's, oh, because I have the breakpoint. I keep forgetting that. Do you see this? The reason, even when I'm jumping over it, we are jumping into it, is because of the breakpoint. I didn't see that. I forgot about it. Let's remove it. So let's remove that. No longer we're going to be here. Okay, good. I'm glad we noticed this. So let's do this again. You enter the value, and then I don't want the print, so I'm going to jump over it. Then next, return. So now where are we going to return? To the previous function, which is my fun one. So we go back here, nope, okay, and do nothing, then a leave, okay. Now the return, where do we want to go back? We want to go back to the main. So now we are at the main function, right? Actually, we weren't able to go back, by the way, because what we did is we corrupted the application. I'm sure we did something wrong here. Okay. Yeah, let me start the application again. How much did I pass here? 28? Okay. Let's see again. So if we do attach and this, okay. Let's do F9. Start. Okay, so F7. I'm gonna jump over, compare. Okay, do that. I'm gonna jump over it this time. This is where we do. Actually, let's do this. This is the copy where the copy will happen. So here now we have, this is our destiny. This is the source. So let's see what's in the source. We can see in dump. This is our source, this value, and then we are gonna copy it over here. So we're gonna copy it over here. So this is gonna be. So now if I do F8 to jump over it, okay, it got overwritten as you can see here, and now EAX is pointing to those values. So now if I continue, I'm going to jump over it this time. I don't want to, and we don't have a breakpoint, so we will not be going into it. Great. Nope, leave, and then return. Okay, so now when I do the return, we will go back to the main function, but we didn't. Why? Because the EBP was overwritten. EBP was what? Was overwritten. So what does that mean? It means we need, if we repeat that, we overwrote EBP, so EBP, see, we don't know how to return back to the main, the previous function or the previous frame. So let's start again, but this time let's add only, not 28, I'm gonna do 24. Well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 20, okay? But I'm going to add 4 B's at the end, just so we can differentiate between them. So we can add 1, 2, 3, 4, start. Okay, yep, start. And let's go. Start execution. We stopped at the push EBP where our breakpoint is listed. Next. I'm going to jump over this one, F8. So compare, jump plus equal. Okay, continue. And now I'm going to take this one. I want to go and see the copy. So let's do all of that. And now we have, this is where we will, our destination will be. So this is where we will be writing F7. Okay. And now if I do F8, I don't want to do the going into it. So destination is here, and this is the source. This is where our code is. So if we follow this in dump, it will show us, but I'm gonna like skip that. Okay, just wanted to see. Great. So this is where our source is, and this is where our destination is. Okay, and by the way, this is on the stack. This one is actually on the stack. Okay, so we will be, this is here, actually here, this is the one. So now if I do F8, you can see that what happened is we overwrote at that address the A's. So we overwrote A's and then the B's. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is 16 bytes, then 4, which is 20, and then 4, which is 28. So we overwrote all of this. Okay, so if we go back here, 4, 4, 4, 4, that's 16. Then we overwrote another 4, which is 20, another 4, 28. So we overwrote here with this 4 bytes. Let's check that so we can next. Next. Now this one will take me to my function too. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to skip. Nope, leave, return. Now the return, where should it take me? It should take me back to my function one. So it took me back to my function one. Everything is fine here. We're going to do the jump. So move ex, leave, return. Now look at what do we have on top of the stack. What we have is our B. So what does that mean? It means we needed 4444, which is 16 bytes. We needed those 16 bytes, and we needed that other 4 bytes. Okay, we needed that other 4 bytes. So we did 20 bytes, and then the 24th byte, or let's say we needed another 4 bytes to overwrite on EIP, which is, this is going to be EIP. Why? Because now if I do F7, see, it's going to be, when the return, what it will do is going to do a pop, copy it into EIP, and then EIP will say, hey, I don't know how to execute this. I don't know even where it is. So the program will crash. We can't continue anywhere from here. Now, what do we have here on the stack is, see this? So see this, where is it pointing to? It's pointing to this value. And where is this pointing to? So if we go to dump, it's pointing to this location where our code exists. Again, let's just look at this again. So we have control over EIP with this value. So we managed to control EIP. We have control over it. Why? Because we managed to inject our code into it. And if we look at ESP, it's pointing to the top of the stack, definitely, but it's also pointing to where our code is, some of our code is. Okay, so what can we do with this? What we can do this now, this is where the assembly world comes into play. And again, we will, in every new lesson, we will add new skills and new techniques. So you learn different ideas and different methods to do the exploitation. But for now, what I'm going to do is use the basics, because this is our first example. And I'm going to go search for, excuse me, let's go to the libraries or the code which is already loaded into memory. Okay, and I'm going to go to, for example, kernel 32. And we want to search for something which points to a jump ESP. Why jump ESP? Because our code is at ESP. If we can jump to that location, we can execute our code. So let's go to search and then command, and then we want to do jump ESP. So let's search. It seems there is no jump ESP. So let's go back, look in somewhere else, nt.dll. Right click, search for. Now I know some of you might say, hey, this is this library will be loaded every time in a different place. Forget about that for now. We will get back to this. We will get to it, sorry, later on in the course. For now, we just want to find any jump ESP. So we can see that we have these 3 different selections. Let's take this one and avoid the first one. And I will later on tell you why we are going to avoid that. But for now, let's avoid it. It has some zeros in it. What are the zeros? If you remember, they are the null bytes which terminate a string. So we are going to avoid that for now. And let's take either this, this, or this. Let's go to this one. And let's copy this address. Okay, so let's copy. And let's put a breakpoint on it. Let's put a breakpoint where? On this one. So let's go back to here and write down this one. Okay. So we need to do that. Now what we need to do is send. What do we need to do? What do we need to do? What do we need to do? We need to send this, but through a program. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video here. What we need to do now is do some code, which we will be doing in Python, but I'm going to stop this one. So we'll start in a fresh video. We'll use some code written in Python, and we'll pass this value with our other string, okay, in order to control the application. One thing let's probably do before I stop the video, one last test I want to do here is probably do a multiplied by, let's say, 100. Let's just see what's going to happen. Just want to see what's going to happen before I stop the video and do the code, the exploitation part. So let's run again, and yep, start, no problem. And let's do execute. So we are here, F7, 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 F8. We want to jump over this one, and then continue, continue, continue. We want to go into it because we want to see the copy. So let's go there. So here we have everything done. So we have the source and destination. So this is our destination. If we follow on dump, this is where the code is going to be written. And now if I do jump over, because I want it to be executed, but I don't want to go into it. So now we see that we managed to write a lot of A's onto our stack. See our stack got a lot of A's got written on top of it. Okay, so let's continue. Load, load. I want to avoid this because I don't need it anymore, which is my fun too. So I'm going to just go back to nop, leave, return. Now, when I do the return, what's going to happen is one of these, this one actually, the one that ESP is pointing to, CSP, is pointing where to the top of the stack. So now if I put this value into the return, what it will do is will copy this value into EIP, and it will go to execute that. So if I put the address of jump ESP here, I will be executing this code. Okay, again, if I put the address of a jump ESP instruction, okay, then what will happen is when we do the return will copy this into EIP, and EIP will go to execute it. What is in there is a jump ESP, so we will come back and execute the code which is in here. So now we have control over our program. In the next video, we will exploit it. In the next video, we will exploit it and see how we take advantage of it. That's all for this video. See you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.